there friends, and welcome to another Quick Tip Tuesday, and today I have this. This is actually a recipe I came up with a long time ago that kind of followed after a recipe for our favorite toothpaste. I was at the toothpaste section of our health food store and we had tried many different ones and I wasn't really happy with very many of them, and then we decided to go ahead and try this one. I'm not normally the type to spring for the most expensive things, but we did this time. And we went ahead and tried this toothpaste called Earthpaste. It was the most expensive one in the health food section, or the toothpaste section of the health food store. And so we went ahead and tried it, and while it was a little strange getting used to because the toothpaste was brown, I've tried green and red and white and all kinds of other colored toothpaste, but never brown. So it was a little different, especially for the kids. But once we got used to it, we actually really liked it a lot. It didn't have any of the weird ingredients that many of the other ones have that we didn't want, and it tasted good, and it actually made our teeth even cleaner than any other toothpaste that we've used. Well, once I started doing research on it, I also found out that Redmond Clay is actually used for a lot more than just toothpaste. You know, other than the Earthpaste, the Redmond brand also makes a Redmond First Aid, which is used for all sorts of things. They list on their package that it's good for burns, cuts, abrasions, rashes, bruises, bee stings, poison oak and poison ivy, insect bites, and blisters. So, you know, it can be used for a lot of different things. So I actually decided, because it was so expensive and I didn't want to have to pay that kind of price for our toothpaste every time, to go ahead and try and make a copycat version. So I looked at the ingredients on the tube, and as you'll see, if you wanted to look into it, the ingredients in this recipe is the exact same ingredients in the toothpaste itself from that brand. So we really enjoy it, and it's actually really useful for both of those things, for both the toothpaste and the first aid cream, which I'll explain in a minute. So the first ingredient that it uses, of course, is the Redman Clay. It's the base for the whole recipe. So it's good for a lot of different things. As far as the toothpaste goes, this particular ingredient is just, of course, the mildly abrasive portion of it that helps to scour off the scum and the plaque and things that, of course, we want to get off of our teeth, which is the whole reason why we brush them anyway. It also has xylitol in it, which has a nice antibacterial effect. Xylitol is highly recommended by dentists, you know, to use in gum and different things like that, and now more and more they're adding it to toothpastes because it's really good to help kill the bacteria in our mouth that cause our teeth to decay. So by using, you know, xylitol regularly, we can help get less cavities and things like that, and it also helps keep breath fresh because a lot of times bad breath comes from bacteria in our mouths, so it's really a good multi-purpose ingredient. But in the toothpaste, it also adds a nice sweetener, so again, it has a triple duty purpose, so it's a good thing to add to our toothpaste. And then the next thing we add is some sort of a liquid, and you can either choose to use water or peroxide or a combination of both. My personal experience is that I'll either use just water if I don't want the whitening effect that peroxide has, or I'll use a combination. But when I tried to use all peroxide, it was just too much. Peroxide has a bitter flavor, so I think a half and half is good, or all water. But it's up to you. If you want to use it for, you know, whitening, then go for it. If not, just use the water. And the next ingredient is tea tree oil, which of course has a nice antibacterial effect as well, and so that helps, you know, freshen the breath and all that rest of the stuff. The next one is another essential oil, and that's some sort of a flavoring, which could either be wintergreen, peppermint, spearmint. The Earthpaste brand also has cinnamon and lemon, which I don't understand. I don't recommend lemon in any kind of toothpaste because lemon has been shown to, I mean, everything is controversial it seems these days, but lemon has been shown to help weaken tooth enamel, and so I'm not really sure. I wouldn't personally choose that one, but that is one of the flavors they offer. And then of course there's salt, and then like I mentioned, the water. I'm not really sure what the purpose of the salt is, but they add it in theirs, and so in my copycat version I add it in mine. And then so for when you're actually using it as a first aid ointment, the clay is actually really useful in drawing out impurities in our skin. So things like toxins and poisons and venom and things like that. And so I'll leave a link to the description box below about different people who have, you know, tried the first aid ointment from Redmond Clay, and they've had a lot of success with a lot of different things. People have used it with, you know, good success, which we love to use mainly on our bug bites, things like mosquitoes and things like that. But other people have even had a success using it on different types of spiders, including a brown recluse, Wow, that's really cool actually. And so, yeah, the Redmond Clay just helps to draw out the poisons that those bugs, when they bite us, inject into our skin, and then it helps to reduce the swelling and stuff like that that often those bites cause, and because it also has a nice anti-inflammatory effect, so it works really good for that. Of course, it has the Xylitol, which has another antibacterial effect. It doesn't just work on our mouths, it also works on our skin. And then the tea tree oil, the same thing, antibacterial. And then as far as a flavoring goes, when you're using it in your toothpaste, it's a flavoring like Wintergreen, but when you use it in the as a first aid, when you're using this particular thing as a first aid ointment, then the Wintergreen is going to have a nice, like, pain relieving type property to it, which is actually really nice, and so it's you know, useful there too. So all of the ingredients in this that makes it a good toothpaste also make it a really good first aid ointment when it comes to bug bites and all those other things I mentioned earlier. So, you know, one universal product, and it does so many different things, and so that's why I really enjoy it. So I really want to share the recipe with you, my copycat version of Earthpaste, and so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with actually making the product. So the first thing I have in here is the Redmond Clay, and so I've went ahead and added 4 tablespoons of that into this dish. You can use any type of dish you would like. And then the next ingredient I've added is 1 tablespoon of Xylitol. This one's the one that I've been using, and I like it a lot. So there's the Xylitol next. And then the next one is going to be the liquid, whatever liquid it is that you're using. If you would like this toothpaste again to be whitening, then of course you can use the peroxide. If not, then just some regular water, or a combination of both. For this one, I'm actually just going to use the water. So we're going to go ahead and add 6 to 7 tablespoons of this liquid. I'm going to go with 6, and then we'll see if I need more. It can vary from time to time. And then the next thing I'm going to add is just a small dash of salt. I'm just going to take 1 little crack of this Himalayan salt. That's enough. Don't need too much. And then of course the next one is the essential oils. So whichever essential oil it is you're using, you know, of course, choose accordingly. I'm going to go ahead and use this. The recipe is actually 10 drops of Wintergreen, which is what this is. Unfortunately, my little thing here does not have a dropper, so I'm just going to eyeball about 10 drops. But of course you can use Peppermint or Spearmint or whatever else you would like. I like the Wintergreen because it has a nice pain-killing effect. And then I'm going to use some tea tree oil. We're going to go for 4 drops on there. I think I already got 1, 2. There we go. That's everything. How easy is that? And then the next thing you do is you just stir it together. Okay, and as you're stirring and stirring, you're going to realize that, you know, it might be a little bit frustrating, or at least it was for me at the first time. No matter how much I stir it, it just doesn't get any less lumpy. It looks weird, and it just doesn't get smooth. It's kind of like a lumpy pancake batter. Well, just like the pancake batter, even if it's got lumps in it, once you cook the pancakes, they're totally fine. In this way, once you leave this overnight, it turns into a nice smooth consistency like this. Overnight, magically, all of the Redmond Clay just rehydrates, and before you know it, everything is all good and smooth and just fine. So what to do with it? Well, you can either leave it in a dish like this, or even use a spoon that you can use to kind of like put it on your toothbrush, or, you know, scoop it out to use on your bug bites and stings and things. Or another option that you have would be to use one of these reusable toothpaste tubes. I really like this thing, and that's what I'm going to go ahead and do with this one. It has 2-part lid system, where the actual top comes off, and then this thing comes off as well. And this kind of makes it easier to scoop the stuff in there, and then you can put the top on, and then the other part goes on top of that, and then it works just like a normal toothpaste tube. You open it, and then you would, of course, squeeze it out, and then have it on your toothpaste tube, or, you know, squeeze just enough for your bug bite or sting or whatever it is. So it works really well. So I really hope you found this video helpful, and we'll see you next time. I'm Frugal Green Girl. Thanks for watching. Okay, just real quick, I wanted to show you what it looked like in the tube. So here I went ahead and put it all in there, and minus the mess I made, of course. It fills it up right up to the neck of the bottle here. Fills the tube perfectly. So we're going to go ahead and stick this on and tighten it on. And there you have it. The tube you have to go ahead and use just like normal. So thanks again.